Happy Sunday. I invited you into the kitchen today because your healthy hack tip for the week is seasonal eating. We live in a culture, you go to the grocery store and you can get anything in any season, right? Which is great sometimes. One of my classic favorites that I like to beat up on is salads. Everyone's been told salad is the ultimate healthy dish to eat, right? You should eat it all the time, have big salads all the time. But if you look around, when is iceberg and romaine lettuce in season locally? When can you get it at your local farmer's market? Spring, summer, maybe into the fall. Iceberg and romaine get a little iffy into even September. Those are great things to have in the hot months. The iceberg lettuce that's in your store, even the romaine, they are fabulous foods for people in California and Florida, places where it's still hot and it's still really dry. They need that kind of moisture and cooling and fiber. Here in the north, the season is changing. What's seasonal is changing. By design, what's available right now for food is what your body needs to be sustained, nourished, and stay healthy. So the more that you eat seasonal and local, the better nourished you're going to be by design. That's how it's supposed to be. So what's seasonal right now? What's available? Because we're in sort of the height of the changeover. Apples. Apples are in season. Apple cider, apple spice lattes. That doesn't count, does it? That's coffee. Apple crisp, all these things, apple pies. Everyone's making applesauce to store. Apples. Apples are fabulous in the fall. You should eat a lot of them. They're cooling, so they'll help get rid of that heat of summer. They have good share of fiber. The peelings are full of nutrition for you. And where fall gets windy, and we're getting a lot of rain, but the wind can be drying. A lot of the grasses are drying, the leaves are drying out. So as a characteristic, fall is drying to your system. Apples have piles of moisture. They're awesome at that. This is a fruit that is perfectly designed for fall. Watermelon? Not so much. It's tasty yet, but not so much. Tomatoes, they're coming into the end. You know, we had some frost here. They're about done. Any tomatoes that you get fresh now from the store or Subway or any of those McDonald's, I don't know where else you get fresh tomatoes, you notice they don't taste as good. They don't have the same texture. They're not as nourishing to your body. Local, seasonal. What's coming in now? Squash. We're having leftover squash with sausage for lunch. A lot of your vegetables cooked will feel better to you. And we're talking about a healthy diet. I encourage you to think about a lifeful diet. Food that has life in it and that makes you feel alive when you eat it. So just pay attention to how you feel when you eat things. So as you're changing over your salads from iceberg and romaine, what greens are in season right now? Even though it's cold, I still have kale out in my garden, and I will until probably December when it starts to be frozen full time. Spinach, Swiss chard, same thing. All of those are really deep, dark greens. They can take the cold, so they're going to help you take the cold a whole lot better. You can cook them. In fact, if you have thyroid conditions, they tell you should be careful about those deep, dark greens. If you cook them, they're fine. You can also preserve them. Iceberg doesn't dehydrate too well. This is some kale that I dehydrated. And now I can throw it in soups, omelets. I've also ground a bunch of it so that I have powder. And I can put that in my smoothies. I can put that in my eggs. Today I put it in some chia pudding